The Arena Football League was founded in 1986 by then-Commissioner Jim Foster. The league was one that was exciting in its early years, known for producing talents such as Super Bowl 34 MVP Kurt Warner, Washington Redskins coach Jay Gruden, and Chicago Bears coach Matt Nagy. The league even had broadcast deals with NBC, ESPN, and CBS, just to name a few. And in the 2010 season, the league consisted of 15 teams, making the sport seen throughout the country. But then, the number of teams began to take a nosedive. After the 2016 season, the league went from 8 teams to just 5. Then, after the 2017 season, the league went from 5 franchises to 4. The reason for the league's downfall is one that would take an entire video to explain, and maybe that story will be told another time. But in the 2018 season, the league only had 4 teams. The 1-year-old Washington Valor, the 1-year-old Baltimore Brigade, the just created Albany Empire, and the 3-time Arena Bowl champions Philadelphia Soul. The Albany Empire were the team to beat in the 2018 season. The roster consisted of 2018 Rookie of the Year and Receiver of the Year Malachi Jones, Defensive Lineman of the Year Joe Sykes, Offensive Lineman of the Year Hayworth Hicks, and 2018 regular season league MVP Tommy Grady. Now, with an action-packed roster like that, you would expect Albany to ease their way to Arena Bowl glory, which wasn't the case. The 2018 season actually saw a 3-way race for first place between the Empire, Brigade, and Soul, which, because of the Empire's jam-packed roster and coaching staff, they just narrowly won with an 8-4 record. But since the league only consisted of 4 teams, that meant everybody made the playoffs. The first place Albany Empire would be matched up with the last seeded Washington Valor, and the second seeded Baltimore Brigade would be matched up against the third seeded Philadelphia Soul. The 2018 playoffs worked as follows. Each playoff series would consist of 2 games, with each team getting to play a game at their home turf. Whoever had the most points at the end of the 2 games combined would then advance to Arena Bowl 31. Now, as I mentioned, the 2-10 Washington Valor had to face league regular season champions Albany Empire, which, just glancing at the records of both teams, you would expect the Empire to win easily, with no question. And honestly, that's the way it was looking. The regular season for the Valor was one to forget. Early in the season, the team lost their starting quarterback, Nick Davila, but the Valor had to play without the veteran quarterback. The Valor went on to go 0-4, and after a 53-42 loss to the Albany Empire, the Valor fired then head coach Dean Kokinos, making coach Benji McDowell the interim head coach. Under McDowell, the team continued to struggle. It would not be until week 9 when the Valor actually finally won a game, which they just narrowly won 49-48. Then after the Valor's first win, they then went on to lose 3 games in a row before finally winning a second game against the Baltimore Brigade to conclude the 2018 regular season. But with the Arena Football's weird playoff configurations, the Valor, believe it or not, still had a chance at the Arena Bowl. It was all about getting hot at the right time, and the Valor did just that. The Valor and Empire kicked off their playoff series at the Valor's home turf at Capital One Arena, and the Valor put up a fight. They kept the game close the entire way, which then went on to go to overtime, but unfortunately for the Valor, the Empire would come up on top 57-56. Because the Valor kept it close, and because it was a 2-game series which combined the total number of points going into the second matchup, the Valor were only at a 1-point disadvantage. But the Valor had no easy feat. They had to travel to Albany to face a good team in a tough atmosphere. I know it's not really saying much, but out of the 4 teams in the Arena Football League, the Empire easily had the most passionate fan base in the league. To put the Empire's fan base into perspective, the Washington Valor's playoff series only had 5,160 in attendance. And for the Game 2 matchup in Albany, the Empire fans came out in force with 9,261 fans in attendance. Despite everything in Albany's favor, the Valor shocked the Arena Football world, winning the game 47-40, advancing them to Arena Bowl 31. The Valor then had to face DMV rival, the Baltimore Brigade, in Arena Bowl 31. This series, unlike the last one, would just be a 1-game series, but because Baltimore had the better record, they had home field advantage, which meant that the Valor would have to play on the road again. Many thought the Valor's victory over Albany had to be a fluke and that there was no way the team could beat Baltimore. But when the game started, the Valor quickly silenced the doubters. The game started with both teams going back and forth exchanging scores. But then the Valor changed the pace of the game with an onside kick touchdown recovery from their speedy wideout, Chris Duvault.
On the run, angling far side, dives for the end zone, touchdown, Chris Duvault.
And after the Brigade gave up that touchdown, they were never able to come back into the game. They were always playing down a deficit, which then led the Valor to become the unlikely champions to win Arena Bowl 31. After the Valor's win, instead of basking in the underdog story, many were quick to call out the league for its poor playoff format and criticized how a 2-10 team could make the championship. Now, after the 2018 season, the Arena Football League then went on to add 2 new teams, the Atlantic City Blackjacks and the Columbus Destroyers. In an interview, chairman of the executive committee and majority owner of the Philadelphia Soul, Ron Jaworski, said that next season the league looks to add even more teams to the mix. So maybe the Valor's fluke to Arena Bowl championship glory inspired the league to add more teams. But I want to know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think of the Valor's improbable run to the Arena Football League Championship, and what do you think about the future of the league? Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Football Frenzy YouTube channel if you have not already. My name is Eric, thank you so much for watching the inaugural episode of the Football Frenzy, and I hope to see you next time.